stars at your eyes. Come and bring them to me. I've been down so long. I've been working on a plan, yeah. It's just that I've been down so long. I gotta give me my. Can I sit next to you? Can you sit next to me? Oh, I walk to Memphis alone, 'cause you do it for me. Right? I know you would. All the kicks from the sticks, all the kicks we knew. I put all that aside, concentrate on you. All the kicks from the sticks, all them hits that we took, all them stitches we got, all our brains so good. Wow! I've been working on a plan, yeah. I've been down so long, been down, but now I gotta get lifted up. Gonna walk a tightrope, gonna get kicks every night. No one's holding me back, no one's changing my mind. Oh. Gonna walk a tightrope, gonna get kicks every night. No one's holding me back, no one's changing my mind. Get the stars at your eyes, come and sit next to me. Out to Tennessee skies, down on South Front Street. Whoa! I've been working on a plan, yeah. I've been down so long, been down, but now I gotta get lifted up.
Give me the story of that song.
That one is an AC/DC song called "Can I Sit Next to You?"
Bon
But it was a
Scott.
good title.
And there's all these beautiful hidden guitars in that AC/DC version as well. It's a nice journey. It's a great song.
Right? Yeah, it is a great song. I think it was just a matter of I liked the title, and so I was just sort of humming and hummed into one of those voice recorders, and that was the start of the song. And then many months later, we had this.
Has that happened to you often where you hear another song title and think, man, I got to write around, you know?
No, not often. But it was, there's also it was just a strange one because there's this soundtrack I listen to all the time, the Solaris soundtrack, and it has a song called Can I Sit Next to You? Mm-hmm. I was just thinking, two very different vibes. Right. Maybe I can make a song like that too. I don't know. I don't do it often.
The power of words.
Yeah.
And so when you started to hum a song, did you even know what it was going to be about? And is that different for your process?
No, I didn't know what it was going to be about. Yeah. No, I didn't know what it was going to be about. Yeah, it was a different one. I don't usually do it like that.
But having written songs for a long time, when you get into something now, do you plan out? Do you say, all right, it's time to make a record, or do you have a bunch of songs? Like, how do you figure this out?
Yeah, it's kind of time to make a record, right? And you know, these days the way you make money is doing shows, and so you know that process seems to get longer and longer the longer we are a band, you know, and so we end up doing shows, doing more shows, and then finally it's kind of like, well, now it's time to make a record.
So you can at least make the show interesting for yourself.
Is that why we do?
Yes. Some
well,
guys...
the record is the most important thing, you know. I mean, that's the thing that you know a band's value is really based on, in my opinion.
Well, you guys are doing crazy things with your records, things that no one does anymore, which is you're sequencing a record.
Right.
Like you have songs in order, and you've probably thought that through.
Yeah. We do spend a lot of time on the sequencing, yeah.
Yeah.
You want a mic?
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah. I do.
And why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because the album is art, you know, and you know what we want is for someone to listen to the whole album, and so then it has to make sense, the sequencing. Mm-hmm. You know, the personality of a record can change a lot just based on the sequencing of it. You know, I think that'd be obvious if you listen to what.
Dude, if you listen to Let It Be in a different order,
exactly.
It doesn't work the same. Well, it's great songs, but it's a different journey.
Yeah, exactly.
But when you're putting a record together, does everybody have the same idea of what the personality of an album ought to be?
No,
we went back and forth on the sequencing a lot. Everyone seemed to have a different idea of how it should flow, but I think the way we settled on it is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems right.
Was it an art that you thought was missing from the modern conversation about music, the idea of an album?
Is it missing from the conversation about music?
Yeah.
It doesn't really seem to be in the conversation at all.
I think albums, you know, like everybody, even big singles artists, they still put out albums, and they're big pushes around albums. So I think the album is still the thing, you know. Mm-hmm. I just, I don't know. Maybe some artists look at it more as a whole that they should consider, you know, than others.
Has it changed for you over the years, the way you want to approach these sorts of things, records?
Yeah, I mean, we do approach records differently. When we started out, it was all about, we were basically a bar band, you know, and we wanted to get better gigs on the weekends.
Now, are you talking like 92, 93, 94, that era?
93, 94. We didn't really do anything in 93. 94, yeah, 94, 95. And so then that first record is all about those songs that we were playing in bars. And then after that, we started thinking about it differently. Like, oh, so we're actually going to be making records. Mm-hmm. And so then I started thinking about putting songs together a little differently, yeah.
Were you a confident songwriter then?
Yeah, I think I was confident.
Have you always maintained that confidence?
Do I seem confident?
I'd say so.
I know when a song is good for sure. Yeah. And we know when we like something. I hear stories about bands that aren't really sure whether this is good or that's good, and it's been a while since I felt that way about a song. I don't think I've ever felt that way about an album, you know. I know when it's good.
But if you felt that way in the process, I'm fascinated with when an artist and a group decides we're ready for other people to hear this now.
It can take a long time.
I don't know how to really explain how you get to that point, but we kind of just all somehow magically agree. It sounds like I'm making that up, but everyone kind of just happens.
Well,
like,
it's
that's
also
done.
Everybody's schedules also probably has something to do with it, because okay, well, we kind of got to get it done around this point. But we mixed this whole album in July of last year, and I thought we were done, and we were not done. So we went, we mixed all the songs in July, and then we weren't really done until we mixed all of them other than one of them over again, and we're done in October.
How about in terms of the things you want to say?
Huh?
The things you want to say when you're putting out records.
I mean, I kind of just take it on a song-by-song basis, you know?
But yes, but it's such a crazy world right now. It's always been crazy. Just now everybody sees how insane it is.
Right.
And there's so much that would drive somebody's narrative, especially if you're a storyteller. So do you look around and think, these are timely times and we need to actually say something here?
I felt that way a couple times, yeah. And there's a song on this record that has somewhat topical lyrics.
Overt.
Kind of came up accidentally, but once we realized those lyrics would be taken that way, we decided, do we want to go down this path? Or because I wrote this one with a friend, mm-hmm. And we said, yeah, okay, we weren't meaning to go there, but yeah, let's go there.
Is that a difficult conversation internally?
It wasn't difficult. It was an afternoon, and I had no idea whether the song was going to survive. You know, we go through so many songs, but my concern was, I mean, it's a song about the chorus is "Let them build a wall."
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm going to tear it down. Something like that. My concern was just that by the time it came out, it would seem like old news. It would be, and fortunately, old news. But now, unfortunately, it's not old news.
Right.
Yeah.
And who knows how long that song could be relevant for the next 5 years, however long it's going to take them to build that wall or even start building that wall.
Right.
As a songwriter, do you feel like you have...
As long as it's transparent, I think the wall will be okay. As long as you can see through it. That's what I'm told. That's the danger.
It's however they rationalize it to themselves, right?
Right.
The older you get, do you find you want to weigh in more as an artist?
Yeah. I think we have weighed in more this last year. You know, it's special times.
Yeah.
It's not the first time. We had some somewhat political songs on some of our records before, but yeah, I guess we've gotten more on social media. We've gotten a little bit more overt. Yeah.
I was fascinated with what's important to you at this stage of your life. Like, what's important to you as an artist, and what you want your band to be, and what you want your songs to represent, not just politically. What do you want them to be about?
Wow,
That's a heavy question.
We're not fucking around here, man.
Right. I want to be the best, you know?
That's very different than being the biggest, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'd say that's true.
But it's all about wanting to add to the canon of great rock albums, kind of, if I had to boil it down to one pure intention, you know? I love doing shows. That's fun. But the most important thing to me is it's all about making that record and putting that document out.
Does it represent time in your life?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What are the records that you think of when you think of the great records in the canon?
Plastic Ono Band, 1999 by Prince. What about you?
Heroes.
Heroes, yeah, that's a good one.
You had a beautiful posting after Bowie passed away.
Yeah, thanks.
On Facebook.
Thank you.
Heartfelt.
I was feeling it.
Is it true that you spent a ton of money buying a bunch of Prince songs after he passed?
Yeah, a lot of Prince CDRs. Somebody was selling a lot of them.
On eBay?
I mean, a lot of them. 160 CDRs on eBay, yeah. And I was... I kind of looked for stuff from the vault for a long time, but this just like popped up as you can get a lot of stuff right here. The fact that it was so many of them kind of appealed to me, and so there was a lot of live stuff, but there was a lot of classic, maybe not so great quality sound quality, but classic stuff from the great era, And that was inspiring for sure.
I remember being an usher at a theater. I was a teenager when Sign of the Times opened, and the excitement of Sign of the Times, the film was released.
The film, I saw that in the theater, yeah.
And how I hadn't seen that before, because all the previous stuff had been the Zeppelin era.
Right.
Those big tours, and suddenly Prince is dropping this theater release, which is not a lot of guys were doing at that time.
Right.
When you saw it, how old were you?
15, 14.
Impactful?
I remember liking it. I remember that it got bad reviews, but that I thought that it was good. Yeah.
It's your beginning of you thinking the critics don't know shit.
Maybe, yeah. But the album had already been out for a bit before that film came out, and I knew the album was just brilliant. Yeah, and it was a little self-indulgent, that movie, but there's a lot of great performances in it.
And so was Prince and Bowie from when you were young that made you first think you could write songs or want to write songs?
I loved him, yeah, from I got my first Prince cassette when I was 11 years old, yeah. I don't know if I processed I can do this too.
Yeah. But those guys, what was interesting is how they changed a lot. And much is made about the reinvention of an artist, but I wonder how conscious reinvention is as opposed to an evolution of an artist. You guys make different sounding things all the time. Are they conscious choices?
Yeah, I mean,
Somewhat,
we get asked this question a lot, and it was sort of an unspoken thing. The only sort of spoken direction we had on this record was let's not. I'd had some song we worked on quite a bit that was acoustic. It was an acoustic ballad, and we got quite a ways through. We worked on the song for a bit, and then I just said, "But guys, do we really want to have an acoustic ballad on this album? Is this what? I don't know. I'm not sure if this is the. It's a great song, but do we want to go in that direction?" And we didn't really.
Right.
And so and then we never really talked about it again. But the record ended up going into this direction that was sort of, what did you call it?
Future punk rock.
Future punk rock.
Coined that earlier today.
Yeah.
What does one have to do to qualify to be future punk rock?
We just made a manual of how to do that. It's called Hot Thoughts.
Right.
That is future punk rock.
Yeah.
I guess.
What do you want to
Left
play?
instructions for generations after us.
That's very thoughtful of you.
Yeah.
We want to play another song?
Sure.
What do you want to play?
I think I'm going to play I Summon You now, right?
Yeah, you do it.
Yeah, okay.
Remember the way to the world, it's a sound that we used to buy on cassette and 45. And now this little girl, she says, so will we make it at all? 800 miles is a drive. Yes, you got the way to the world coming down like a mother's eye. And all that you can give is a cold goodbye. The law enforcement's impressed you survived to this age. The strapped up soldiers, they'll lock you in a cage with that goodbye or a nickel bribe. Here it's too late to break it off. I need to release the signals that call, but that don't get me off. I summon you to appear, my love. Got the weight of the world. I summon you here, my love. Yes, you got the weight to the world coming down like a mother's eye. And all that you can give is a cold goodbye. The law enforcement's impressed you survived to this age. Strapped up soldiers, they will lock you in a cage with that goodbye for a nickel bribe. But oh no, where are you tonight? And how we get here, it's too late to break it off. I need to release the signal is a cough, but that don't get me off. I summon you here, my love. I got the weight of the world, that's why I summon you here, my love. The signals are called, but that don't get me off. I summon you here, my love. I summon you here, my love. I summon you here, my love. Ba 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 ba.
Thanks for playing that one, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Thanks for the request.
Dude, I love that tune. I love that tune. You the kind of guy that likes to play older stuff? when you're on shows?
Do I like to play older
Yeah,
stuff?
like what's your relationship with those songs that everybody wants to sing along to?
I like playing the songs people want to sing along to. Yeah, we're into that. I like a mix, because yeah, I like to play them. I like the old ones.
Were you encouraged and nurtured as a songwriter and a musician when you were a kid?
My dad had guitars, yeah. So, but the thing he did that the most that really affected me, I think, is at that point I wasn't real interested in playing guitar when I was little, when he was around.
He was in neuroscience, right?
He's a neurologist.
Yeah.
No, but he played a lot of records, and he played them really loud. He was the kind of dad that would wake you up in the morning to get you going by playing a loud rock record, and I liked that.
When he was around. Mine wasn't. Mine wasn't, so I'm curious about that.
Well, then my folks split up.
Yeah.
But no, he was still around. I shouldn't. He was still in the picture. Just wasn't. He was a couple hours away.
Did your mom wake you up with records?
No, she wasn't big on that. Yeah.
So were the guitars gone then?
Guitars were gone. Yeah. But yeah, when I was about 15 or 16, 15, I think, is when I finally borrowed a friend's guitar, and I was like, well, if I really want to make these records, maybe I need to learn how to play something.
What did you learn from?
I knew I could sing, but
Were you singing in the shower, and is that how you figured it out?
When I was real young, I was in the choir.
Yeah.
But yeah, just singing along to records mostly. After that,
The choirs are really regimented, aren't they?
what's that?
Choirs are really regimented. Like you got to play along. Were you good at that?
Yeah. Yeah, we're talking elementary school.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it must have helped something, I think it sort of, I kind of know how to do my breath and all that, without kind of really thinking about it.
Right. So when you got a guitar and wanted to learn, did you teach yourself other songs? What did you start learning?
When I borrowed that guitar, I had a Easy Beatles chord book, and that's the best way, because all those Beatles songs,
Yeah.
and so it's easy to just kind of pick, and I know how that goes, and then, I taught myself how to play using that book. Yeah.
It's interesting when you talk about the rock canon, you talk about a Plastic Ono Band record.
Right.
People tend to go either a Beatles record in that situation,
Right.
but a Plastic Ono record. That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, that one sticks out to me as a great one. But yeah, the Beatles they were no slouches.
That's what I hear. What I hear. I appreciate you coming in today, man. That's really kind.
Thanks for having me.
No problem.
It's really nice to meet you.
You too. You want to play? You want to try that cover? Or what do you think?
Yeah, we'll try it.
You're
See
going
what
to do an
happens.
amazing song on a Bowie record, right?
What's that?
Are you going to do the Bowie record or the Plastic Ono?
Oh, we'll try the Bowie one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you hear Black Star for the first time, what are you thinking?
Well, I heard it. It's a totally different experience hearing it 2 days before he died and then listening to it afterwards, It's like two different records. But, yeah, it was hard to spend time with it for a while, Mm-hmm. How about you?
I was on a flight to Ireland. We were hoping to book him for an interview.
Oh,
We
really?
had word that Tony and him might even come up in the house. And we were even having conversations with him that week.
Right.
So obviously it was never going to happen, but we were talking, thought maybe something could happen. And then I was flying to Ireland, and when you get a text message over the air, there's no reason why your phone should get a signal.
Right.
But the text I got was Bowie's dead.
Wow.
I went, what? And then when I heard it again, and I listened to it over and over again, I thought, he knew.
Right.
Wow, this guy's smarter than all of us again.
Right.
And the photographs, I was really impressed with how orchestrated it was
Yeah.
as a final message.
Again, yeah, it was art.
It was art.
Yeah, he made art out of his death.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Ready?
Alex, come up.
something's very wrong. The pulse returns for prodigal sons. The blackout hearts, the flowered news, the skull designs upon my shoes. I can't give everything. I can't give everything. Oh, hey. I can't give everything. Oh, hey. Seeing more and feeling less, saying no and meaning yes. This is all I ever meant. That's the message that I sent. I can't give everything. I can't give everything. Oh, hey. I can't give everything. Oh, hey. I know something's very wrong. The pulse returns the prodigal sons. The blackout hearts, the flowered news, the skull designs upon my shoes.